Today we're diving into Lee Cronin's The Mummy from 2026. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is a film that attempts to weave a tale of horror and suspense but ultimately struggles to find its footing. The story centres around the Cannon family, whose daughter Katie, played by Natalie Grace, mysteriously disappears in Cairo only to reappear 8 years later in a sarcophagus. This should be a moment of joy, but instead it spirals into a nightmare as Katie returns home to New Mexico, bringing with her an ancient, malevolent force. The film opens with a promising premise, setting the stage for a supernatural thriller. However, as the plot unfolds, it becomes clear that the movie is more interested in shock value than in developing a cohesive narrative. The runtime of 2 hours and 14 minutes feels bloated with scenes that often lack the necessary connective tissue to maintain a steady pace. This disjointedness is further exacerbated by the film's reliance on body horror and grotesque imagery, which, while initially unsettling, quickly becomes repetitive and loses its impact. Jack Reynor and Laia Costa portray the parents, Charlie and Larissa Cannon, but their performances are hindered by a lack of chemistry and underdeveloped character arcs. The film attempts to explore the emotional toll of Katie's disappearance and return, but these moments are overshadowed by the relentless barrage of gore and chaos. The supporting cast, including Calamawy as Detective Dahlia Zaki, is given little to work with, resulting in characters that feel more like plot devices than real people. Cronin's direction is visually striking at times, with clever use of shadows and close-up angles to create a claustrophobic atmosphere. The sound design also deserves mention, as it effectively heightens tension with its visceral depiction of biting, ripping, and scratching. However, these technical achievements are not enough to compensate for the film's narrative shortcomings. The movie's attempt to blend horror with dark comedy is a mixed bag. While there are moments of absurdity that elicit a chuckle, the tonal shifts are often jarring and detract from the overall experience. The film's humour, much like its horror elements, lacks consistency and fails to strike a balance between the two. One of the film's most significant issues is its inability to establish a sense of urgency or genuine threat. Despite the presence of a demonic force, the stakes never feel high enough to elicit true fear or concern for the character's safety. This is compounded by the character's illogical decisions, which make it difficult for the audience to invest in their plight. In the end, The Mummy is a film that struggles to carve out its identity. It borrows heavily from horror tropes and fails to offer anything particularly unique or memorable. While it may appeal to fans of Cronin's previous work such as Evil Dead Rise, it ultimately falls short of delivering a satisfying horror experience. For those seeking a more cohesive and engaging narrative, this film might be better suited for a streaming platform rather than a theatrical viewing. And that's my take on Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and I'm giving it 2.5 stars out of a possible 5 stars. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and I hope to see you all next time on Mindset Movie Reviews.